Hi guys, it's Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft. Okay, here we go with the last question. Shot for the shotguns. Shot sizes are merely small lead balls of lead, literally, that, or steel can be, that are designed to be the projectile. Now, they go all the way from 12s, 9s, 8s, 7.5s, 6s, 5s, 4s, 2s. Then you go into alts and buckshot and number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, BB. There is a plethora of sizes and it can be very confusing. But let me simplify a little bit for you. The heavier the projectile, the farther it's going to go, and the harder it will hit when it gets there. Case in point, a ping pong ball doesn't weigh much. If I throw it, it won't go that far, nor will it hit that hard when it gets there. A baseball will go farther and hit harder, and a softball will not go quite as far because it's so big now it's dragging the air a little bit, but it's heavier. See? And a bowling ball, when it hits, is a big hunk of wham. Okay? So let's look at that and how it relates. If my target is small, let's say birds, bird shot can be 12s, 9s, 8s, or 7.5s. The numbers can be a bit confusing and I won't go into it now, but just understand that 12 is a much smaller than say a 7.5. Okay? The bigger the number, the smaller the shot. Okay? Think of it like the more pellets that'll fit on a pin. Okay? So, if I'm shooting something that's like a squirrel, staying on birds, I'm sorry, let me clarify. Let's say I'm shooting a quail, which is going to be really fast right here at my feet, like I talked about with choke. I want a gun that's going to throw a big circle quickly, and I want relatively light pellets. So 12s will make me a bigger sheet of shot out there, bigger net. But each individual piece is light, like the ping pong ball, so it's not going to do much damage because the creature I'm using for hunting is very delicate. And I don't want him to just, I want it to be a humane, quick kill, but I do not want it to be tore to pieces because the ultimate goal here for me doing this is food for me and my family. So I don't want my prey animal full of shot and I don't want him tore up. Okay, if that makes sense. So I want small shot for small birds up close. If the birds are going to be farther away, now I'll go to my 8s or even 7.5s. But as I go up, I'm getting less and less number count of pellets in the shell because the pellets are getting bigger. They're going farther, they're hitting harder, but there's less of them. Okay? So, now I'm getting to where, let's say I've got a dove. And with 7.5, one pellet in the vitals will take him out. So I'm going to throw a 30-inch circle up there, and hopefully 1, 2, 3, or 4 will hit him and will be sufficiently powerful to do what I'm wanting them to do. Now, bird shot, 12s, 9s, 8s, 7.5. Then we pick up game load, which is 6s, 5s, 4s, and depending, 2. Okay? And that's what's used for small game. Rabbits, squirrels, small fur-bearing creatures, things like that. Something the size like a house cat would be on the big end. That's where we use those types. Now, I'm not saying shoot house cats. I'm just giving you a rough size, guys. I've got plenty of cats. I'm a cat lover. Don't hate me. But get you a relative size, okay? So from a squirrel up through, let's say, that size animal, you would use field shot of, again, 6s, 5s, 4s, and possibly 2. 2 being bigger and heavier than 6. Okay? Then we roll over into the bigger shot. you know, which includes the number 2s, BB, and etc. And those are used normally in big waterfowl like geese, things like that, because now I've got an animal that's pretty good size, probably a body weight of 25-30 pounds, and I need something that's going to anchor it. So it's up to like the BB gun, toy BB gun size BBs that we're utilizing. Then we step over into big game, which is called buckshot. Okay? Buckshot is aught, double aught, triple aught, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Again, it's how many pellets and how big is the pellets inside the shell. Buckshot is a big game load. It's designed for close range work on larger animals like deer, hog, things like that. The bigger the animal, the bigger your shot needs to be, because we need more effect, more penetration. Okay. And then the last is slug, or very old, pumpkin ball. All a pumpkin ball is a round ball put in the shell. It turns it into an old musket, basically. A slug can be rifled or not, and it will stabilize better and fly more like a football thrown in the air, and it's typically used for, again, the biggest game: moose, bear, deer, things like that. Anything over 100 pounds would definitely be slug, or heavy buckshot up close. So, what you're hunting dictates the shot, the choke, and the gun you're using. Now you're beginning to see how complicated this can get. And it's kind of like 3 dials that you got to turn to get all 3 of them to line up on what you're doing. For quail, I need my choice, 20 gauge cylinder bore choke with a light 12s or 9s in it, because I've got to shoot right quick up here, big quick column of shot, big umbrella at a small target that I don't want to tear up. I'm shooting squirrels. I'm shooting 20 gauge modified choke with the number 6s, because that handles my dense woods the best for me personally. I'm going to some forest that's real big timber, and I'm hunting fox squirrels. Those are big squirrels, and they're way up yonder, maybe 80 or 90 or 100 feet up in a tree. Okay, 20 gauge, modified choke, number 2s or number 4s. Heavier shot to reach on up there. We're going after duck. 12 gauge, full choke, and I want about a number 2. Geese, 12 gauge, 3-inch, full choke, and I want something like a BB. I'm going after deer. Deer up close from a deer stand, shooting down into 20 or 30 yards out. Thick cover would be 12 gauge, modified choke, triple aught buckshot or double aught buckshot, or slug. Big hog, up close and personal, can be 1,000 pounds. Slug, 12 gauge, modified choke. If I can get a 3-inch or a 3.5-inch slug for that big an animal, yes, the kick is worth it. As I said in the beginning of this series, it can start getting confusing kind of quick, because of what you're hunting dictates what you need. I hope this helps you to understand. And like I said, please leave any questions and comments. I'll work with you one-on-one as best I can to help if it's still not just quite clicking for you. But I hope it's giving you some ideas, guys, and I hope it's kind of clarified it a little bit for you. I'm Blackie for Shaman's Forge Bushcraft, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.